Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is the 19th of January 2017 and I've now finally returned back to the UK after obviously being away in the Philippines for a few months. And obviously my regular subscribers that have been with me since the beginning will have known that I've been battling with things like internet connections, etc. while being away. So I wanted to start off with just doing a quick channel update regarding the 5,000 subscribers that this channel now has, and wanted to thank every single one of you for sticking around and commenting and helping this channel grow by sharing the videos, sending me relevant information, and generally just giving encouragement to carry on doing what it is that I'm doing here. And I'd like to thank everybody that goes that one step further and actually donates directly to the channel, because over the course of this last 8 months that I've been doing this channel, I've managed to release something like 195 videos on what is actually quite an underpowered computer, which I'm glad to now say I'm going to be replacing it, thanks to everybody that donates and watches every single video, and especially the little adverts that come through your screen create an income in order for me to upgrade this channel, to save it for investing in producing better quality videos, which in time will hopefully grow this into a larger channel with all the various expensive equipments that people need in order to produce high quality videos. So this is the computer that I'm going to be purchasing. It's an Apple MacBook Pro Retina with a high graphics card and things for processing and editing, as those two forms actually use a lot of computer power. So once again, thanks everybody for your support on this channel. So we're going to go straight into the news now with what's occurring during the last 5 days or so. And we're going to start with this article from intelthechronicles.blogspot.co.uk. And this is what some people will view as unbelievable information, and how can you prove any of this? But there's a lot of behind the scenes events that are taking place, and a lot of it is documented via sites like this, and also people's beliefs of higher entities that are actually helping shape and transition us through this phase of existence that we're actually born into. This earth is changing. This corrupted state that we live in at the moment is hopefully changing into a new form. And with that, all the old debt system is going to be wiped. And a lot of the evil roots of the powerful elites that control lots of the mechanisms throughout the Western world are changing. And this Intel The Chronicles documents that. It updates you with bulletins, and that's why I cover it from time to time, because a lot of talk is coming that there's going to be a Chinese gold currency resetting which is going to occur imminently, and this is going to be a very complex process which is linked throughout the debt markets, because as everybody is aware, one thing that we do understand is that the ever expanding debt cycle is unsustainable. So it has to be rebalanced in order to continue with an operating society, an operating infrastructure. So that is why there's a huge amount of talk about a revaluation of gold. And that's what the Chronicles covers. They class it as the RV, the revaluation. So parts of this report won't actually make a lot of sense unless you regularly read a lot of the reports that come out on this website. And obviously I don't have time to read every single article that gets put out. So I recommend you actually pop over to this site now and again and just read some of the individual posts that come out. This was posted today, Thursday the 19th. The spiritual winds of change have replaced the calm before the earthly storm, which is referring to obviously the revaluation. All sovereign family representatives in attendance at Davos, Switzerland, released the revaluation on Sunday evening. There will be no disruption of mercy by dark forces ever again. And if you're aware, guys, you will also have heard that this is the first ever Davao meeting that the Chinese president attended, or that a Chinese president attended ever. So that should actually tell you something, that if they attended this meeting, it was obviously a very important meeting. Then on Monday, the North American closing procedure began by White Hat Commander General Joseph Dunford. Final security and deliver adjustments were made, and there were 3 breaches of protocol that were corrected systematically. Multiple release strategies have been employed to avoid enemy detection and counterattacks. Mission completion now guaranteed with the process now begun. General Dunford is exceptional at delivery upon strategy, and why he was chosen by the Galactic for that revaluation transition. Now, when I was referring to the entities earlier, guys, this is the area that we're talking about. Now, this is where it takes that difficulty in understanding, because they're talking about galactic federations and things outside of Earth which are protecting and terraforming this planet into its next phase. Now, obviously, that sort of information to the standard mind cannot comprehend that it even sounds feasible, that there's a galactic federation overlooking Earth, or that there's other entities that are watching over and guiding humanity down a different path, simply because of the level of indoctrination people have gone through. Topics such as this are classed as pure tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theories, so you are immediately laughed at if this is even uttered in a regular social environment, and the automatic response from your brain would be, this guy's talking crazy, this guy's talking absolute nonsense. But you start to see links and snippets in the real world that relate back to this, but there's a whole section of the jigsaw that we don't get told. There's a whole massive agenda that is behind the smoke and mirrors and the curtain that only certain people are privy to. So because we're not actually privy to that type of information, does that make it not true? So we carry on. Inauguration Day was the fulcrum or flashbang event. And for those that don't know what the fulcrum is, a thing that plays a central or essential role in an activity, event, or situation. All eyes are on presidents, no eyes on the redeemers for an extended period. Also, full military, specialized plainclothes operators, and local security assets are all acceptably deployed due to the inauguration, should anything go off the rails with a revaluation. So guys, this is actually linking that the revaluation of currencies and debt and precious metals and Bitcoin and everything is linked with this inauguration period, which is actually occurring tomorrow. That is the triggering moment, which is actually cross-linked to lots of other stories and web bots and all sorts of things like that that are running around the alternative media networks currently. And that's why it all backs into the same corner as highly likely to occur due to the sheer amount of content that is coming out regarding these subjects of currency resets and end of eras and changing of the guard. Thus, the public appearance of fully armed, dressed military personnel on the streets of this country would not be an alarming sight during this strange inaugural process and event. The Chinese New Year 2017 was a backward date due to the ancient Eastern solar lunar calendar, ignoring both the Gregorian and the Julian modern calendars of the Western world. Post-Mercury retrograde, shadow clearing, also as a factor in terms of a new business contracts after Year of the Rooster begins, which obviously is after Chinese New Year, guys, which is at the end of January. So all things point to the end of January, especially for the contracts, which obviously contracts in business and debt forgiveness should be initiated. Old business affairs are now to be cleaned up by the 28th of January 2017 by elders' orders to Dunford, who wisely took every last second to prepare. And the elders' orders are referring to the powers in the East, the Committee of 300, the White Dragon Society, and so on. They are the ones trying to cleanse this corrupt, paedophilic, destruction and manipulation that has been taking place for decades in the Western world. The cosmic tumblers have been clicking into place, but have accelerated by the second now, and have gained irreversible momentum due to unified planetary momentum. So the uses of words here, guys, the unified planetary. So many of the powers that are orchestrating this obviously agree and want this change to occur, and that it is irreversible. And we can obviously see the decline of power from said people like the Clintons. We see lots of articles coming out regarding how a lot of their establishments are just collapsing, how the power is being lost, and how this new wave of Trump is going to be washing that away. So it really is the time of change. And we are at the absolute beginning stage of seeing exactly how things are going to evolve during the next few months. The changes to society and general good dwelling on Earth you'll genetically witness now will come so fast, most will not understand how or why until well after they have transitioned into the new world. And that's what I'm referring to, guys. A lot of people just have absolutely no idea what the hell is going on. And let's be fair, most of us have absolutely no idea what is going on either. There's just so much information clustering everybody's brains that it becomes hard to actually filter through what is relevant, what is important, what is true, and what is false. And that's because it's a constant battle that has been going on for the last years and months regarding the forces that are trying to retain power and the forces that are battling to overthrow the evil, corrupt ones that are currently in power. Blocking or forcing change is futile. Go with the flow has never been a more appropriate truth to live by. So guys, during this next period of time, all you have to do is just sit back and enjoy the ride, because the change is coming. And here's the next interesting point, which I'm going to cross-link over to something else. Motherships and support craft are now uncloaking to both assist in the needed human transition, as well as fulfilling Galactic Federation disclosure mandates from heaven. So that's a very powerful sentence. And for those of you who regularly listen to the Webbot updates that myself and some other channels cover, you will notice how in the Space Goat Farts entity section that Cliff High reports that there will be spaceships spotted on an increasing level, especially over the Asian continents. There will be hundreds of videos recorded, so much so that people get used to seeing them on a daily basis. So that's what I'm referring to. There's lots of cross links that are popping up all throughout everything. And obviously the Webbot collects its data via linguistic chatter online. And again, this is referring back to the Galactic Federation, which is going to be made up of entities and races that 99.9% of people, perhaps even higher, have absolutely no exposure to. So the immediate response to hearing this without seeing physical proof is going to be, this is total crap. But time will tell whether this is total crap or not. But a lot of the actual links and a lot of the events that should be occurring are being documented here before your eyes. And if you're fortunate enough to be watching these videos and being able to take formative steps in not only positioning yourself in a very lucrative area to capitalize and make the most of this transition phase that is going to be nothing more than transitional generational wealth for you and your families to protect you for years and years and years in this next stage of the world that we're moving into. But that's only on a financial aspect. I mean, the amount of disclosure that is supposedly going to be coming forward with not only release of like governmental classified informations, but of other races, of other entities in our solar system and in and on our planet. Because that's right, there's going to be a whole system of hidden caves and underworld cities and under ocean cities and off-planet cities, which are very well known to select few, which are nothing more than sci-fi Hollywood blockbusters on the latest movie that comes out. But you do actually have to ask yourself, are they really just movies? Or is it predictive programming like we understand when we start to wake up. Most things are told to us and shown to us years in advance, all in order to decentralize you into what is reality. So next, the CIA has released 13 million classified documents regarding a host of topics, including non-humanoid extraterrestrial life on the surface of the Earth. Next is the Zim sovereign rates are said to be negotiating as high as 50,000 US dollars for appropriate group third world humanitarian projects. And this is referring to the Zimbabwe 10 trillion, is it 10 trillion? $100 trillion note with the barcode of an AA symbol at the beginning, which are supposedly going to be revalued during this transition phase to this valuation, 50,000 US dollars. And that is this one here, this note, the $100 trillion with a double A at the beginning. So here, for example, 1 hour left on this and you can get that for £20, £25, which is supposedly going to be revalued up to 50,000 US dollars. Now, whether you believe that is another thing. As with everything, guys, take it with a pinch of salt. But nonetheless, might be worth buying just one. But that is only obviously reusable in humanitarian projects. You can't obviously spend that on buying a Ferrari, you know. Next is the African in-ground minerals embody the future of mankind, and why the African Union currency, of which the Zimbabwe bonds represent, is so unprecedentedly high at the time of redemption. And this is referring to the Zimbabwe note, which is classed as a Tier 1 sovereign bond. And it states that they are starting to trade and pay out on Friday morning in Asia, which is obviously tomorrow, and Thursday night in the Western world, which is tonight. Subgroup paymasters are to be fully hydrated and completely unencumbered for individual client dispersal, also on Friday. The gold currency reset and revaluation rollout and conversion process is to move so fast, so invisible, and so abundant that all will come to understand why a few dedicated their lives to making sure the many were positioned in a timely and accurate manner, as the fate of humanity depended on. God is with us. That's where the article ends. Now, we're obviously aware that Trump is going to be coming into office, hopefully tomorrow, but we're also seeing lots of articles and information coming out regarding how huge amounts of weapons have been found on the inauguration route by riverbeds and things like that. You've obviously got lots of death threats that are occurring. You've got coups that are supposedly trying to happen. And then you've got, on the protection side, you've got all the bikers in the States coming out that they're claiming to protect Trump with a human wall of meat and encircle the whole Capitol. So it's really going to be a fantastically interesting event to be witness to, because we really have absolutely no idea what is actually going to happen. Is there going to be some form of assassination attempt? Will there even be an assassination successful attempt? Or will what we all hope, the good powers, to succeed and gain office and hopefully correct part of this nightmare that has been designed and built for multi-generations, for multi-decades? This really is a fantastic time to be living and to be witnessing and to hopefully be prospering from. So I'm going to leave this video there, guys. I hope you've enjoyed watching this. Please do subscribe. Please do share this video. And anybody who can do that little bit extra and help to donate to this channel to help it grow this year in 2017 with the aim of reaching another 5,000 subscribers. The various options are down in the description box. You can help out by donating just as little as $1 to the Patreon site. You can donate via the PayPal site, and you can donate via the Bitcoin link. All are in the description bar, guys. And I will follow on this video, guys, with a lot of articles which I found relevant from the last few days. So please do check those out when they're uploaded. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy the next few days.